Hello, everyone, and welcome to Slapendipity, Hobos of Happy Slappy Town, episode 86. My name is Devon, but you can call me Gibby, and I'm here with Eric, who you can call Eric.
You normally say something like, say hi to the nice people, and then I say
Say hi to
that
the nice
thing,
people.
and this time you didn't, so now I feel like I was, cheated, wronged,
How long are your
wounded.
training wheels going to be on, Eric, that I need to remind you to say hi to the nice people?
What do you mean? Those are just wheels. Those never come off.
Your
There are
wheels don't come off?
motorized tricycles.
Those things are attached to you?
I mean, I have special attachments, like in my shoes. Like wheels in my shoes.
Okay, genuine question, getting off wherever this was not going.
Yes.
Did you ever have Heelys as a kid?
No.
What? Okay, so I didn't either. They were. I was about to say like, oh, they were after my time, but they weren't. They were when I was in elementary school. They like were my time, but they were immediately banned in my
Yeah.
school. And my parents kind of thought they were stupid. And so there were never really anything I was like allowed to be interested in, if that makes
Mm.
sense.
Mm.
Like I only ever saw kids younger than me with them.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
What's your take on Heelys?
Uh, roughly the same. I don't. I had no interest in them. I would see the commercials and it's like Heelys, a wheel in your shoe, and I'd be like, but you could just run, and that would be faster.
Yeah, because like whenever I thought of them, like my understanding of the outdoors would be like road pavement or like parking lot asphalt, which would be like lots of cracks and bumps and stuff. Like the idea that two wheels in your heel that were about the size of like skateboard wheels, right, could like comfortably walk or ride or drive or reel or roll whatever over any sort of surface. I'm just like, well, it can't do mud, it can't do grass, it can't do cracked pavement, it can't really do roads. Like, where could it
Devin,
be? It
you're
could be like an
forgetting.
inside, like a
Mm-hmm.
gymnasium, like
Mm-hmm.
inside, like a hallway, like tiles, where they would never be allowed. So I don't know their function.
I mean, I think you could use them on like a road. I mean, not like a road, obviously, but like the asphalt type thing. As long as there aren't too many bumps or anything. But that's why the Heely shoes came with the special attachment that you can take your heel or your wheel out and then
Yeah,
put in
yeah,
like a plastic block. So then you would have normal shoe function. So then you just had
yeah,
to interchange them. Didn't you watch the commercial?
yeah. I did, and like I understand that having the if I'm going to school and I'm not planning on using them, I can just take that part out. Like I get that. I just mean like what what area of life would I wear them and intend to use them for their Healiness? If anyone listening to this had Heelys as a kid, I really want to know your Healy experience. When did you use them? Were they as useful as you thought they would be? Are you confused by me and Eric's confusion over the topic?
What?
Leave your Healy stories in the comments below or email us at slapendipity@gmail.com.
I don't think they were also designed to be useful or anything per se. Like, is a skateboard designed to be useful? Like, yeah, I guess kind of but like not as a mode of transportation. Really, it's like a fun thing that you ride. You're
People
not.
skateboard to work.
No, they don't. You stop
In
that.
cities, you've never seen people skateboarding just down the sidewalk in cities,
No
just
one's in
going
a
somewhere, a
business suit with a
backpack? Hold on,
briefcase
hold
with
on, hold
a
on.
skateboard
Okay,
going
listen,
downhill.
listen, listen. That hilariously wrong. You didn't go to college.
That's
You know how many?
yes.
Okay, that makes me smarter than you. No,
Oh,
the amount of people who skateboarded to class was insanely high.
yeah. Okay, but that's not like
A mode of
people
transportation.
people that skateboarded did it as a hobby and then also skateboarded other places. People are not the average person is not using skateboarding as a normal method of transportation. Right? Those people that skateboarded to class, they probably already tear shreds on the skate park and twice a week or whatever. At least.
Oh, yeah.
Your
Yeah,
Joe
okay.
Schmo isn't like, I'm gonna skateboard to class today.
I think that Joe Schmo is probably the most common skateboarder name in the world, actually.
No, it's Tony Hawk, Devin.
Okay, I can name only one Tony Hawk who's a pro skater, but there
Yeah.
could be dozens of Joe Schmoes who are pro skateboarders.
I mean, yeah, there are dozens of Joe Schmoes that are fishermen, too, and carpenters, and, you
And
know,
and
and
and and okay, so you didn't have any Heelys.
I did not have Heelys.
I did not have them either. I don't know how practical they are. I would love to hear from people if they found them to be practical. You don't find skateboarding practical. You don't believe in Joe
Whoa,
Schmo.
whoa. I
You're
never
not getting any
said
presents
those.
underneath your skateboard tree this year.
Listen, I believe in Joe Schmo, okay? I don't know why you gotta twist my things around. I also think skateboarding's fun. I don't I you could use it as a mode of transportation. Are people reliably skateboarding to and fro? I don't think so.
You know what's a sentence that I'm about to say? And I think anyone who was alive in like 2004 knows that what I'm about to say is true. But to anybody else, what I'm about to say is like incoherent. They're like, no, there's no way. Like, think of like your go-to average skateboarder kid, or the kind of kid who would wear Heelys
Okay.
to school.
Yeah.
Okay, think of that kid.
Yeah.
I think the sort of public imagination of what that kid would look like would be a completely different circle and a Venn diagram, would have zero overlap with this next category of kid I'm going to say.
Okay.
Whereas in reality, it was the Venn diagram was a perfect circle. The Venn diagram of kids who owned Heelys and skateboarded and kids who played Yu-Gi-Oh! Was a perfect circle. That was the same kids. Skateboarders, Heelys, Yu-Gi-Oh! Tech
Okay.
deck dudes.
Uh-huh.
The cool kids with like spiky hair, frosted tips, even though they're only like 10 years old. 2003, the cool kids, the
Uh-huh.
skateboard kids, were also the Yu-Gi-Oh! Kids.
Now, let me tell you something.
Mm-hmm.
I was a Yu-Gi-Oh kid, and I did not skateboard or have
Well,
Heelys.
you were the
So
only one.
you are.
Um,
However, the school I was in, Yu-Gi-Oh was a hot thing, and none of them skateboarded. At
yeah,
least
it's
at
funny.
school. I mean, maybe they did it in their personal life, and I wouldn't have noticed. Although I do say I did not skateboard. I did own a skateboard. I never learned how to use it properly or as intended. But I would go down hills like on my butt with it, or
Oh my gosh.
try to learn to skate, but without actually having any learning resource. So I would just kind of glide on it for like 3 seconds and then just kind of stop. Kicking it up,
Did you
though, I was not too shabby at. It was fun to kick around.
did you have like razor scooters?
I did have a Razor scooter.
Yeah,
That
razor
was a lot
scooters
more
were like the
reliable.
normal, yeah, the normal kid's skateboard because like you could use it, but
It,
also it
it's
had
easy. It's
handles.
easy to use. Yeah. It's a scooter is the equivalent of a tricycle or training wheels for a skateboard.
Yeah, bikes have training wheels. Skateboards have handles.
Mm-hmm.
If they're too difficult, you can ride a bike, right?
Yeah.
Okay. We have some people. We know some people who can't ride bikes.
Yes.
Which I've always found interesting. So you were a bike, you had a scooter, you did not really skateboard, no Heelys. I'm trying to think of other wheels. I was never able to use
I couldn't
skates.
unicycle.
My brother can unicycle, which is what I'm sure you were thinking of when you said that.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
He learned. I was my mother got into unicycling, and so tried to teach me and my brothers. And I was just like too cool for that, by which I mean I did not have a good center of balance and was not very athletic, whereas my younger brother was. He was also still young enough that it was like, I don't know, you fall off the unicycle, you're fine. You're like 10 years old. It's fine. It's whatever.
Yeah.
I was 14, and I'm like, I ain't falling off this unicycle.
Well, you just catch yourself, you know?
No, too tall. I was too high off the ground.
You just tuck and roll. I'm gonna go back to other wheels, though. I think that's it.
Inline skates.
Oh, skates.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, as often as I went skating, like, I did actually own a pair, but it's not like, no, I used them a bit when I was younger, I guess. Like, I think everyone in my family, we all had skates, and we, like, skated around for, like, a few years when I was young, and then we all just kind of stopped doing it. And then, you know, you go to a roller rink and you skate around, and I never learned how to properly use them, so they would always dig into my legs, and I'd be like, yeah, they'd be bloody and scabbed, and I'd be like, yeah, this was still fun, though. I went to go
I had the exact opposite. Hated skating, never liked it. It's like, okay, move forward. It's like, okay, I'm moving forward. How do I do literally anything else? Just go like this, and then you fall over, or your legs split or something. Hate skating, by which I mean I was always bad at it, and now my feet are too big.
Well, suck.
They don't make skates my size.
That is
so never a roller skater. Which is, I think, why I liked the ideas of Heelys, because it'd be like, yeah, if I ever need to like turn, I could just walk. Okay, toes are the training wheels of Heelys.
Toes?
Toes are the training wheels of roller skates.
What?
Bikes have training wheels.
Yeah, no, I know.
Skateboards have handles.
Yeah,
and rollerblades have Heelys, so the toes. Like you just have your
the
toes.
The stop pad.
Toes.
No. There are skates with a little piece of rubber at the top of them, right above your toes, where if you go down, like, those are the brakes, quote unquote. You mean no?
Oh, no,
the piece of rubber?
That's not what I'm talking about. I mean, like, the baby version. I can't roller skate, but I have a pair of Heelys, so I can wear the Heelys, because, like, I can always just start walking normally.
Okay, so Heelys are the training wheel equivalent to rollerblades.
Heelys are the scooters of skateboards as rollerblades, yeah.
Yeah. Why were you saying toes?
Because, like, your toes are free if you have Heelys. Like, the front of your foot, the rest of your
toes aren't the equivalent of that. The Heelys are. Your toes are your toes.
Toes are to handles.
No,
toes are to handles as wheels.
It's the whole shoe. It's your... No. No. Your natural body is not the the assisting factor in these manufactured design things of transportations. Just the shoe is. The rest of the shoe is. The fact that there's only one wheel in the shoe and then no wheels in the other part of the shoe. That's where the handicap comes in. Or the assist or whatever.
Are wheelchairs the you don't want me to finish? Okay.
Did you ever go ice skating?
No, because I was we did boot skating.
Oh,
like the concept of me owning an ice skate would be zero.
Oh.
And I never went anywhere that was like, oh, you can rent our ice skates, yay! So no, definitely not. But we went to frozen water and we just sloshed around on boots.
Okay. I went to an ice rink once and they had skates that I could rent. And it was... I had the same problem with that I do with, like, normal skates. So, but when I ended the session, my the outsides of my calves were even more destroyed because I was using them to dig into my legs extra because it was ice instead of like floor, so I was just extra nervous and compensated myself that way. And I was like, well, this was fun, and now I get to be a little hurt. Isn't that nice?
Was this a positive experience?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know, like 19 or something. I've never gone ice skating since, so
Interesting. Okay, so the real question here:
Okay.
are bidets the training wheels of toilets?
Bidets
Or is
are
that
the no. Okay, wait, hang on, wait. Okay,
Yep, the words left my mouth, and I went, "No, diapers."
yes. Divers are the training wheels to toilets, 100%. Um, but also because it's an interesting idea, right? Because I was gonna say like no, bidets are the training wheels to toilet paper, or like toilet paper is the training wheel to bidets. But if you think about it, back in ye olden times, people just used to poop and or like have a bucket or whatever. But then if you go back
Or
even
a river.
further,
Yeah.
yes, you would poop and then you were by the river and then you just splashed water and cleaned yourself that way. So like a bidet is just a return to form. So and that way I don't think it's the training wheel. Do the training wheels come first? Do you think a bike was invented and then a tricycle,
Yes.
or the tricycle was
No.
invented first and then they took the bike? They made the bike from it.
Carts. Four-wheeled vehicles were made before bicycles. People understood four-wheel vehicles before they could
Yeah.
understand bicycles. So the
Yeah.
training wheels were like, okay, we're going to take off the other wheels really slowly.
Yeah. 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 Okay. So toilet paper is the training wheels to the bidet.
Yes. I like these metaphors we're coming up with.
I think they're pretty handy, definitely not confusing in any way. Just to, why you bring up bidets all of a sudden? You have something to say about a nice little bidet?
Yeah, so I think we should just like kind of finish up the conversation we were having last week,
Okay.
where you had gotten one correct,
Yes, yes.
and I'm like, oh, now that you've actually pulled the trigger and did it, I should do it.
And?
And I did. I was at your house and I tried yours, and the question of whether or not the cold water would be a deal breaker, the answer is no. So I got mine and hooked it up, and it was a struggle,
Oh.
but it ended up like maybe I broke something. It's all good.
Oh.
But it was all done, and it works, and it's fine, and it's great.
Well, that's good.
We're not sponsored, but I wish we were.
Hey, maybe one day. Tushy, reach out. We'll try your new products.
Or maybe not try, but we'll definitely advertise them to people because we already are. Actually, no, that'll make them not bother. Why would they pay us if we're doing it for free? I take everything I've said back. You should never buy a bidet ever.
Unless.
Tushy, if you want to prove me wrong, give me some money.
And they said the art of negotiation is dead.
I am the master negotiator. Can I tell you about one sponsorship I took one time?
I guess so, if it doesn't
So,
violate any
it's not going to
things.
violate anything. So, a game came out, like a mobile game. It's called like Hero something, blah, blah, blah. So they're like, okay, we want you to like play the game and like get to like at least level 5 and record yourself playing the game. So like your fingers have to be on the screen. You're not just screen recording. And you have to say these things like download Hero Quest from the iPhone App Store and the Android Mobile Store. If you play me in game, my name is, Ricky Sanchez. And you can come, fight me and join my guild, Mr. Pickle Rick, on the game. Come and join me. And, I have to say all that, and the ad reads like a minute and a half. And it wasn't like a predatory app or anything. Like, it was like Raid Shadow Legends, right? It's just like,
Sure.
it's a game. It's probably stupid, but it's not it's not gonna like, steal your Bitcoin or whatever. And they were offering just straight up $1,200.
Hmm.
Just like, not like based on downloads, not like based on whatever. They're just like $1,200. And I'm like, that's a lot. And they're reaching out to me, a small channel, and like, there's nothing wrong with the game. So like, yeah, I'll do it. And I did it, and I got paid. And toward the end of they're like, oh, do it by this date, and then we'll pay you by the end of the month. So toward the end of the month, the company that they used to, so if anyone doesn't know, this is how YouTube things work. Typically, you'll sign up with a larger company, and they'll go and they'll find sponsorships for you. YouTube does this now. I think it's called Brand Connect. So basically, you say, I'm a channel of this size with this many viewers, typically with like this age range, blah blah blah. And then they're like, oh, we think that you would love to advertise with, Tushy, and they'll pay you this. So the business, the company that is the intermediary between me and the advertiser, came and was like, so these guys like disappeared. Like,
Hmm.
we don't know, we lost contact with them. It's really weird. Here's your money, but yeah, I guess like your contract's null and void with them. So I'm like, oh, so I just made the money by doing literally nothing.
Hmm.
The company disappeared, but I
Yeah.
still got paid.
Weird.
Incredible.
But
Yeah, so that was my first sponsorship.
that's so weird.
Yeah, it was very weird. And again, it wasn't even that sketchy.
Yeah. But I guess it must have been in some way, or on the back end at least. Like, I don't know, or maybe they just ran out of money. They promised you this money and didn't have it and filed bankruptcy.
Hmm. The other, I keep doing sponsorships with Ewan, who do like desks and computer chairs and stuff. And they keep like, hey, look, we'll send you our new table, or we'll send you our new desk chair, and you demo it, and then do an advertisement. And so I have just so many desks and chairs
Wow.
and desk chairs that I like literally just can't accept sponsorships from them anymore because I have nowhere to put all my gaming chairs.
Well, just tell them to give you money instead of desks and
No,
chairs.
because they don't do that. It's a commission based thing.
Sure,
So like the
sure.
one that the chair that I use in my office, I think I put it together slightly wrong, and so it sinks over time. So I'm like,
Hmm.
maybe I'll like next time they offer me a chair, I'll take it to replace this one. But then like, it's kind of lame for me to tell my audience like, get their chairs. Mine broke, but that's okay because I keep getting them for free every 6 months. So I
Hmm.
kind of feel bad
Hmm.
about that. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I guess if you assembled it wrong, that's one thing, but then that still doesn't bode well because, like, hey, if you assemble it wrong, it's the chair's gonna sink. Which I mean, I guess it would. You know, when the
Yep.
user
But yeah,
error.
I keep offering you and our other friends. I'm like, does anyone need a desk? Does anyone need a new chair? The head chair of my dining room table is a computer gaming chair because why else? What else would it be? I have too many. I
Wow,
can't even do like, oh, I'll give them away to my subscribers. I can't do that. These are giant chairs.
you
Giving it away
truly
to my subscriber, I'll pay $500 to ship it, next door.
lols.
It isn't practical. I'm trying
Maybe
to think. I don't know.
do a big sweepstakes giveaway type thing or a raffle.
And give away my used chair.
Some people are into that.
No, okay, moving on.
I'm
I was gonna
just
say that's really
saying.
the that's the extent of my stories as far as it goes to sponsorships. These one people were like, "We'll pay you $80 if you do a full sponsorship ad read for us." Like, not in the middle of a video and you go like, "This video is brought to you by this thing." No, it's like if you make a full video that's literally just talking about our product, we'll pay you $85. And that's like embarrassingly small. That's nothing. That's like pathetic.
If the video's 10 seconds long, maybe.
No, 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 no.
Mm,
Like up like 5 minutes and there's nothing else in the video.
dang.
It's just an ad, like a
Dang.
commercial. Yeah, no. Like I said, I got paid 1,200 for for an ad read that was like a minute long.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah,
Crazy.
we've gotten some spam scammy ones in our inbox for this show
Yeah.
that we don't look at. And then I keep getting them for BetterHelp, which is a scam,
Oh.
and I feel like it would hurt my reputation to take it, even if it is good money. So I'm not
I
going to do
mean,
that.
yeah. Money is not worth the lives and goodwill and of others. Mm. Hmm. 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 So sponsorships are the training wheels of.
Propaganda.
Oh.
Hmm.
Hmm.
If you're doing it for money, if you're doing it for money, you're doing it for money. If you're doing it for propaganda, you're doing it for the love of the game.
Hmm. Are we propagandists now because of these bidet talks?
Oh, I don't know. Oh, maybe.
I don't know how I feel about that. I.
But like, is it?
Hmm.
Because like people who make propaganda genuinely believe it. They're not just like
Right? And we
yeah,
genuinely believe it, though. That's the thing.
yeah. They're
My.
telling people to spend their money and to adopt a new belief that they
Yeah.
don't currently have, and we're not getting
Mm-hmm.
paid for it.
Yeah.
So yes, that might actually just be propaganda.
Dang. Remember in last week's episode, when you were like, oh, is this going to be like become part of your personality, Eric? You remember when you asked that?
I do.
So last night, I was on a call with some friends that I haven't talked in a while. And there was, quite a few of us, so everyone was giving their life updates and,
And they all listen to Slapendipity
sympathizing
Hobos of
and
Happy Slappy
advice.
Town, right?
And
They all listen to
so
the show, right?
then
Every single one of them. They all
we
listen to the
got
show,
to
right?
me, and I
Eric
was
listens to the show,
like,
right?
this is what's going on in my life, this and that, blah, blah, blah. And they were like, okay, that's cool. And I was like, I have one other thing, but I didn't want to become this guy, but like, it is kind of a big deal, and partially because it has so recently happened, and they were like, what's going on? What happened? And I'm like, no, I got a bidet, and it's really good and cool. And they were like, yeah, let's go. And I was like, wait, what? And they were like, oh, honestly, I've been thinking about getting a bidet, but I didn't, blah, blah, blah. So then we just talked about bidets for like 5 minutes, and I just continued my propaganda at them, and they were, sent the link over, and I.
Quite funny. You told them about the podcast, right? They're all weekly listeners, right? Right?
Huh?
They're all weekly listeners to the podcast. You told them about it. They're all going to click on. They're going to listen every episode. Slapendipity Hobos of Happy Slappy Town.
I can't dictate the lives of others. I can only
Oh
dictate the
my god!
lives of myself.
But you told them about it, right?
Yeah, when episode 1 came out.
Yeah. Okay.
Listen.
That's humorous.
Listen.
What? Yes.
Listen.
Listen, if I thought anyone was listening to this, I wouldn't say half the things I was saying.
Oh, so that means everyone that is listening is getting a inside sneak preview of the inner workings of your mind.
There's obviously on my like 5 Minutes of Freddy's YouTube channel, there's a persona that I try to put forth of like being very respectful and being calm and being like a mediating voice in the community. But then a lot of the FNAF YouTubers are like my friends, and so like we have like our little private group chats and our conversations, and we kind of like screw around and we tease each other. And so it's always kind of funny whenever I'm making tweets on my like, guys, I am the calm and professional mediator account, but I'm saying something just off the wall, teasing my friend because like he knows that I'm just like messing around. And I've always found that to be funny. I'm like, if someone sort of doesn't see that side of my relationship with this person, then all they see is me on YouTube being like, guys, we all need to be nice and respectful. And then they click on Twitter and they see me just roasting this one guy.
Yeah.
I think that's I think it's
Well,
kind of funny.
it is fall time, turkey roasts are
Oh
becoming
my
more and more
god.
common. Um,
I'm just saying that Slapendipity Podcast Gibby is someone who says crazy things for laughs. Horror Homestead Gibby is someone who says, I think we should respect everyone's opinions, because I want the community to be a nice and friendly place.
wow. Wow. Good for you.
You know whose opinion I don't respect?
I was gonna say mine.
Yours! You don't know anything about Five Freddy Bear. I gave you a quiz.
Whoa.
You guys can go and watch Eric's quiz on my channel.
Whoa.
He only got half of the answers right.
That's
Why would I
pretty
respect
good.
Eric?
That's pretty.
Eric's a silly man. He doesn't even know what Blackbird is.
I got it right. It was from a dream.
Yes, that was the one from a dream. It's actually really funny that you remember that.
I know things. I invented Mr. Tuttles.
You invented Mr. Tuttles. That is correct. I still call him that. I have accidentally called him that in front of people who have no idea what that means. Like, we'll just be talking about Chica's Cupcake, and the community calls him Carl the Cupcake.
That's so lame.
I'd be like, oh, and Tuttles does this. And people are like, what are you talking about? I'm like, oh, I forgot his name isn't actually Mr. Tuttles.
See? That was all me.
Yeah, because I've been calling him Mr. Tuttles since, like, 2015.
Yeah.
Because that's when you named him that.
Yeah.
So for me, it's been the entire time. I have been calling that character Mr. Tuttles for longer than most people I know have even been following the FNAF franchise. So excuse me if I call him the wrong name every once in a while.
Yeah. Take that, FNAF community.
Eric, who doesn't even like FNAF, has more FNAF knowledge than some of you.
Hey, it's not that
You can't take offense to that. You haven't even seen the movie.
Listen. That's what the month of October is for, and at some point I will. And because if I'm not mistaken, you said I hate the community. I don't. I'm just indifferent. I have no strong feelings one way or the other. I'm sure,
Did you just say the community is different and you see them as the other?
No.
These are wonderful people.
I didn't see you joke, but someone's gonna be like, no, hang on, yeah, we're gonna get hate mail now. I'm sure it's a lovely community filled with lovely people who enjoy their animatronics and their personas and their... No. Wait, there has to... What's the... There's gotta be a term for, like, an animatronic sona. What's the...
I actually haven't seen... I don't know if there are any. At least in the YouTube community. I'm sure there are. But, like, as far as YouTubers go...
Yeah.
None of us are animatronic themed. Like, I know a lot of Pokemon YouTubers. Well, they'll sort of make their profile picture like a Pokemon trainer type. Like, Birdkeeper Toby is a big guy. Or, like, blah, blah, blah trainer. And then obviously, if you're into, like, My Little Pony, then your thing might be, like, your own little pony self.
You're a brony.
But, yeah. The, none of my FNAF tuber friends have their profile being, like, them as one of the animatronic characters, with the exception of my friend Unwithered Truth, whose profile is just Withered Freddy. But it's not, like... It's not Withered Freddy wearing... the real guy's, signature glasses, and, like, he has my Freddy is, like, he has a tattoo of this because of blah, blah, blah. Like, it's not an OC. He's literally just uses Freddy as his icon.
I think that would make for a great episode, and you've heard it here first. Gibby Devon's next video will be diving into the Sona selves of the FNAF community.
Lies.
He's gonna look into animatronics and, I don't know, avatars and OCs and fan fiction. And if they're all isn't a term invented, he's gonna come up with a term for, like, the animatronic Sona.
I will be doing none of this. You know what's happening?
I can't wait to see this video,
on one of my streams, someone asked me, it was something about furries came up. Like personas. Or they asked if I had a persona, and I said, no, I don't like furries. And someone commented something like, "Oh, he means that he just doesn't, he's not interested and doesn't want to be a furry, not that he doesn't like furries." And I just said, "No, I don't like furries." Just
Yeah.
like period. And they were like surprised by that. So these are things. I'm not saying I would keep them hidden. Obviously, I said it out loud on a live stream. But these are things that I would just not want to intentionally antagonize people with.
Yeah. Well, that is but
Just
I have
let
too
me
many
hate
thoughts.
furries in the comfort of my
Whoa,
own home. Let me
whoa,
hate furries in the comfort of my own home.
Devin, you can't hate any group.
You're gonna come into my bedroom and you're gonna tell me I'm not allowed to hate furries? Get the government out of my hatred.
The government is your hatred.
Oh no, you got me. I do hate the government. Oh no.
Yeah. So that'll be cool. I'm just gonna kind of manifest this video into existence. Even if you don't make the video, just for funsies, you have to. Let's say you had to make an animatronic FNAF OC. What would your design be?
But like as any animal, or am I like, okay,
yeah.
This is Gibby Foxy. Or
no.
I'm just making a character.
Make an OC. Make an OC animatronic.
Make an OC. I don't really like signify.
Would you be any
anything.
type of animal? Would you know?
Yeah, like
you
a
could
dog.
Be
I like dogs.
Okay. All right. So you'd be an animatronic dog.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like want it to be from like I don't know the games, but like I know Roxy and there's like Rocker Chica. Like, would you be like one of those kinds? Would you be a more traditional happy birthday kind of one, like FNAF 1
Yeah,
and 2?
I definitely like the FNAF 1 era, like sort of scary. Like they actually look scary, but not overtly scary. Unintentionally could possibly pass for something that someone would make for kids, but comes off as unintentionally scary. FNAF 1 designs. For the FNAF movie, originally, Dawko, do you know the YouTuber Dawko?
I don't.
Okay, so Dawko's he is the biggest FNAF tuber, right? Like, MatPat is not a FNAF tuber, MatPat is MatPat.
Sure.
Same thing with Markiplier, right? So when you take Markiplier and MatPat out of the equation, Dawko is the biggest FNAF YouTuber.
Okay.
And he was going to make a cameo in the movie. So originally, MatPat was going to play the role that he ended up playing. Markiplier was supposed to play the role of a night guard that dies instantly.
Okay.
And he was supposed to quote his classic video. And Dawko was supposed to be someone who's like reporting on the news as an online person.
Okay.
And his persona, his name would be Doggo instead of Dawko. And he would wear like a dog furry suit.
Okay.
So I don't know, when you said like dog animatronic that I would identify as, my first thought went to, well, no, I wouldn't want to be Doggo.
I see. But yeah, you don't have to be Doggo. You could be your own dog animatronic.
I have no desire to be a dog or an animatronic.
I'm just saying, you're in the
setting
of Five Nights at Freddy's. You're about to get murdered. Your spirit is now going to haunt an animatronic. What do you want that animatronic to look like? What is the new
I have never once played pretend in any capacity in which I had a different body. I've never been like, I wish I looked like this. I've only ever been like, I wish I had superpowers.
Dungeons and Dragons. Yes, you have.
Yes, and who's my character, Eric? Is it like a dwarf or a halfling?
Yes.
It's a chubby little halfling. That's not something who I want to be. That's not something I'm aspiring to be. I'm not like, oh man, I can't wait to go and play pretend that I'm like 2 feet tall. That's giving yourself a new body. But that's not part of the aspect of playing pretend. I'm talking about as a kid. I was never like, I want to be like really tall, buffy man. Sure. Or like, I want to be really like strong female woman. It's like, I want to be me. But I have like Goku powers.
But you have what?
Goku powers. Like I want to be like me, but I have the Force. Or I want to be me, but I have Harry Potter magic. Or I want to be me, but I have Pokemon.
Sure.
I never once played pretend as someone else. And so when people are like, my blank sona is this, I'm like, I don't. Even as a child, I would not be able to fathom what your experience, like the allure of pretending to be a different thing in a different body
Mm-hmm.
is completely foreign to me.
Mm. Did you ever play House?
No.
Oh.
Like tea time? Like let's
No, I mean, yeah,
pretend to, like you and your brother are husband and wife? Like what are we talking about
you
here?
know, it's just House. Someone's
No.
the mom and dad, someone's the baby, someone's the pet, someone's
No.
the child,
No.
etc. You just it's just House. You play all the roles that the people would live in the house of.
But that's just normal life. Why would I do that? I
But
played
because
whacking my brother with sticks.
then you could a 5-year-old could pretend to be a 30-year-old.
As a 5-year-old, I never pretended to be a 30-year-old. As a 30-year-old, I do not want to be a 30-year-old.
And,
Although I will say, at the very
mm-hmm,
least, as a 30-year-old, I don't want to be a 5-year-old.
yeah. Well, it's also a 5-year-old pretending to be an animal or a baby again, or some type of child.
Mm-hmm. We play games where it's like, okay, you guys are like cows, and you have to like moo like cows.
Sure.
But like, I don't know if that would count. Or like ape mode. Like, you ever gone ape mode? Yeah, like you're playing a game and like, okay, everyone, time to go ape mode, and you go ape mode. But like, that's different.
Yeah, I haven't heard of that.
Yeah, it's just like the normal thing where you just go ape. But yeah, no, definitely no. Never played House. I never knew that was like a real thing.
Oh yeah, House is totally a thing. What?
Interesting. Like, I've heard about it, like, oh, tea parties and how. But like, even in the movies, when like there's a kid playing Tea Party or whatever, it never explains like the functions or the rules of what it is. It's always just like, you know, Lily wants to like go and do something, but her kid sister is like, Lily, won't you come play Tea Party with me? And she's like, fine. And then it hard cuts to them at a too small table, and they're pouring fake tea, and the adult's like, I just want to get out of here, but I must help this child's imagination. But like, it doesn't explain like what Tea Party is.
It's just pretend. It's just role playing essentially. Okay. Like you know, for House,
if I'm playing
you designate
pretend,
a zone, and you are like, this is the house, we all live in it, and it depends how much time you have. Maybe you're and the personalities of the people playing in this, most of the time, children, right? It's going to be like some type of child being like basically enforcing rules on another child because they're the baby or whatever. Or, I mean, it's an excuse to play however you want, right? Because when I played House, I would play as like a dog or something and just run around, and that was my excuse to run around, but it was in the context of this game, so I could still hang out with people. And then, what, like, my cousins would be like, oh no, the dog is bad, we have to, like, put him in timeout. And so then it kind of became a game of tag, and then, like, they would catch me, and I would just sit and, like, catch my breath, and that was fine. And you know, they'd be like, oh no, the baby is sick. It's definitely, like, 8 and younger game.
So interesting. You ever play popcorn? Did you? Did you have a trampoline? Did you have access to a trampoline?
For part a little.
I always had a trampoline as a kid, and I think that was very formative for my play experiences as a child. I'm very grateful that I had that opportunity. So we did things like playing popcorn, which is where you try to like crisscross your legs, and everyone bounces around you and tries to get you to, like, you know, your arms and your legs come undone just from being bounced. So, like, we'd play popcorn, but instead of popcorn, it was Avatar.
Okay.
So you're in the Avatar state, and everyone else tries to bounce around you to knock you out of the Avatar state.
Interesting.
So, like, that, like, if I'm role-playing, I'm being, like, a superhero. I'm not being a dog.
Hey, man. It sounds like you just didn't want to get your hands dirty and dig in the dirt.
Would you dig in the dirt when you were playing dog?
Yeah, probably.
Interesting.
I was a dog, quote unquote.
I took on the. I actually became a dog.
I was an animorph, actually.
Yeah, see, shapeshifters are interesting. That's an interesting one. Like, I will become this and I'll be able to fly. I used to walk around. Okay, so as I was the very beginning of the episode, flashback, I'm like, all the cool kids who skateboarded also played Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah,
Remember when I said that? And you agreed? Everyone agreed with me?
I
Okay.
didn't.
So, yes, you did. So, keep in
Liar.
mind, when I said Yu-Gi-Oh kid, I meant like people who were like really into it. Obviously, I played and I had the cards, but I wasn't obsessed with it the way that the skateboard kids were. But what I like to do is I'd go around my backyard and I would just kind of like stare at my blue eyes because it was really shiny,
Okay.
and like that was it.
Okay.
Like the game was, my dad would be like, "You have to go outside," and I'd be like, "But I want to play Yu-Gi-Oh," and he'd be like, "No, you have to go outside." So I'd walk around my backyard and be like, "This card is so shiny."
Okay.
That was the game. Like
Okay.
maybe like, oh, I'm Yugi, but like this is the part where I'm walking to the next duel and I'm just kind of walking, looking at my card.
I mean, oh,
That
yeah.
was the extent of the play. I
Wild.
don't want to get I don't want to give people the impression that like, oh, Gibby doesn't understand what an imagination is. No, again, when I played, it was we're fighting monsters with our laser swords,
Hmm.
or we have a sandbox and the toys are the Power Rangers are battling the Megazord, but I don't have a Megazord toy, so it's like the sand bucket is the Megazord, right? Like I
Hmm.
played games, but they were all fantasy
Sure.
as a child. Never dog. I didn't play dog.
I mean, playing dog is a fantasy in its own way. I do think it's a little interesting, though, because I've also played pretend with my brother, uh, but it was more like spy esque, right? Where he would be like the guy in the chair, and I would be like the agent, and he would like send me on missions, and it was actually he was working for like a rival organization or whatever, and then it would there was betrayal, and it would almost always end in fighting, because that's just how that turned out. But there was still a story and like plot of like improvised, I guess, that was like, oh, you gotta go collect samples from this mysterious location, and then, turns out he used those samples for evil purposes. Not even that.
No, did you
Which,
have a sandbox?
did we have a sandbox? No.
Interesting. No trampoline, no sandbox. Did you have a
Well,
treehouse?
we occasionally had a trampoline. It just didn't like we also um didn't we moved around a few times, so it just eventually lost it, I guess, in the moves. Did I have a tree house? No. Um we My dad did try to make like one of the like a swing set, or
Mm-hmm.
something like that. Not a treehouse. We did have a pool one time.
Hmm.
That was cool.
I'm kind of like I'm reflecting on my childhood a little here. I
Yeah.
grew up very not wealthy,
Mm-hmm.
very very working class. Um, and if I were to like, if you were to ask me like, what do the rich kids have? A
Mm-hmm.
pool would be one of them.
Yeah.
Um, but to me, rich kids had like those dinosaur robot toys,
Mm.
or they had like a PlayStation 2,
Mm-hmm.
or they had like a flat screen television,
Mm.
or they had like their own bedroom so they didn't have to share with their brother. Like
Right.
that's kind of what I thought of like, oh yeah, rich families have like their own have like all these or, like indoor like little basketball hoop things.
Okay.
Um they own DVDs instead of going to the library. Like to me, those are all the rich kid families who can just like buy things that they want. And I go over and I see them. I'm like, wow, you have like the Lego Death Star. I have like a $5 Lego set from the store. But thinking about it now, I'm like, I had a trampoline and a treehouse and a swing set. And, like, I'm sure there's lots of people out there hearing this, and they're like, wow, Gibby, you must have been, like, so privileged and rich growing up, because, like, you had a trampoline. Only the rich kids had trampolines. Oh my god, you also had a sandbox? Oh my god, you also had a treehouse? Oh my god, you also had, like, a scooter and a bicycle?
Mm.
And I'm like, huh, I guess we were pretty comfortably suburban livingness with our big backyard and
Yeah.
our backyard accoutrement like trampolines and tree houses.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, what is normal to some people is not normal to others. And I mean, I think it also depends, right, on like what the family slash parents like care about in raising their kid, right? It sounds a little bit like your parents wanted you outside, so they got like a trampoline and then a swing set and stuff. So to help encourage like being outside, and whether to be active or get sunlight or just to be out, you know, that's what they did. I know. I don't know why, but exactly. But like my parents, we kind of focused on video games, and like I was not keeping up with, gaming stuff when I was a child. I didn't understand how the outside world worked. But like, we had a PS1 and a PS2, and I don't know if it was right when it came out or anything. But it was also like my dad also played on those, like Medal of Honor or whatever. So it was like, oh, this is like a family toy, but like mostly for the children, but like, it's not ours. Until, older on, and it was like, oh, they stopped making Medal of Honor / it became dumb. And my dad was like, yeah, whatever, we'll just get video games for you guys, I guess.
So you're saying there's a timeline where your dad became like the first Call of Duty bro, but that just didn't happen?
Medal of Honor bro. He did not play Call of Duty.
But like, why? If someone had handed it to him and he realized it was basically the same thing, he
so
could have been on the forefront of gamer technology.
So when the Wii came out, right? Because that's around that time I started paying attention to like, companies and like console releases and stuff. I was like, oh, the Wii, like, that'd be super cool, and blah, blah, blah. And I was very lucky, and I think my parents were very lucky that they got a Wii for me for Christmas. And I say that just, like, I think they kind of got, like, they're fine, obviously. But, I don't know if you remember when the Wii came out, but it was kind of, I would equate it to, like, to the older Tickle Me Elmo. Like, the Wii was the Tickle Me Elmo, where, like, people got into fights about it and stuff.
You and I camped outside a GameStop 2 years after the PS5 came out to get one. Yeah. So, like, it's not unheard of in the modern day. But, yes, I recall how difficult Wiis were to get originally.
So, that was cool and stuff. And my dad was kind of, like, happy and excited and all that. And he was... I forget if he was, like, lamenting that he was, hadn't played a Medal of Honor game, or if I had brought up that, like, he hadn't played video games in a while. But we were like, let's go to the store. There's Call of Duty, and I'm pretty sure there's one for the Wii, and, like, we can play, because I would, like, watch him play Medal of Honor growing up. And where I was like, we can try and replicate that a little. So we got the Call of Duty for the Wii. It opened with, like, a torture sequence, and that was, like, the first minute of, like, pressing start game. And...
Oh, that... was it Black Ops? Did Black Ops come to the Wii?
I have no idea.
I don't recall.
We, like, had the game open for, like, a minute, and it did this torture sequence, and my dad and I were both like, nah, this is dumb and lame, and we don't want to engage with this.
That's so funny.
So we turned it off and returned it back, and we're just like, no. Anyway, all of this to say, like, my family focused a bit more on, like, video games and stuff. And that's kind of where our money went to. And we like didn't have a trampoline, or, my dad tried making a swing set, and I think it lasted for a while. And we, I think we had a trampoline at one point, but it was one of those like small ones. It's all about what you choose to focus in on. And yeah, even just a backyard is like crazy.
I'm glad I had one.
Some people didn't even have that, and especially, I don't know I'm not a well-informed person. I'm no expert in any topic, but I think we got to grow up middle class, and I think that is becoming harder to do.
The middle class is actually getting larger, but I'd say that the things that people sort of use as signify... I'd say that something becomes popular, and 10 years later, everyone has the second or third generation of the thing, and it's now affordable. Right? Like, I think a trampoline in 1995 and a trampoline in 2005 are very different.
Yes, that's true.
Status items. Even like a flat screen TV in 2005 versus 2015 are obviously very different status items.
Yeah.
And so I just think that what someone growing up today, what an 8-year-old today has, is what their dad 2 years before they were born thought was cool and should have for their kid, which isn't necessarily trampolines and skateboards. Now it's, I don't know, Lego sets and, PS5s. Funko Pops, good God. I feel like our generation are the kind of people who are always like, I value experiences over objects, so like me and my family, we go on vacation.
Right.
And I'm like, wow, if I was a kid and I went to some crazy vacation spot, I'd always just be like, can I play my Game Boy? And if not, can I be on the trampoline? Oh wait, there's no trampoline. This place is lamer than home.
Dang. What are the...
You know the whole thing where they're like, they don't let kids go outside and play anymore. Like, back in my day, we used to walk down the street to our buddy's house after school, and we didn't call them to see if they're there, and then we'd just be told to come back before dinner time.
Yeah.
Like, you did that as a kid, right?
Nope.
No? That was like for your area, or for your just, like, living circumstance that was not normal for you?
I guess for part of it, it wasn't. For part of it, it was. But I hung out with the neighbor kids, so it wasn't like, yeah. So it wasn't like I had to walk down the street and maybe I won't get home on time. It was like literally within 20 feet or whatever.
Yeah, but like walk down the streets to the neighbor's house. Like, it wouldn't be uncommon if I go out with my neighbors and my brother to run into the slightly older group of neighbors who we also sort of hang out with sometimes, and like they're doing something, so now like all 7 of us are doing something. And like my parents just vaguely know I'm out riding my bikes with my neighbors, and their parents vaguely know that they're out riding bikes with me.
Right.
And we come home before dinner, and like their cell phones don't exist.
Yeah.
But like if we all end up at Timmy's house, and my mom's like, Gibby didn't come home for dinner, I'll call Timmy's mom. Oh, he's over there with you, Timmy's mom? That's cool.
No, my parents would not have allowed for, like, that. They, like, when I left the house, I always had to say where I was going, and it was not, like, when I, like, did play with the neighbors, it wasn't like, oh, come on inside to my house, or what, like, it was always outside, be it, like, football, or, like, street hockey, or whatever. It was kind of like on the road. So like there was never like, oh, we're just gonna like wander aimlessly in this direction, or like aimlessly end up back at Timmy's house. It was like, hey, I'm going outside with these people at this time frame. Dinner will be ready at 6, so I will be back by 5:30 or whatever. It was still very, like, not regimented, but like there was no like ambiguity. Or
Interesting.
even if it was like, oh, we have to go to the library to, I don't, for whatever, for a report or whatever it was, tell the parents, this is what we're doing, this is where we're going, this is when I'll be back, this is who I'll be with, stuff like that. Which is, I think, partially just a parenting, like, my parents just, I know, care quite a bit about that type of thing. And then when we, like, I think I've told this on the podcast before, I don't know, but, like, we had a family cell phone, and, like, whenever someone left, like, you took it, and, like, that's how you stayed in contact. So
Interesting.
When I got old enough, it was like, okay, we're going to go to the library to do this and that. And then I would take the family cell phone and then, like, call the landline if I needed, or, like, oh, we're leaving the library and, we're going to be out for another hour or so I'm going to be a little late, but everything is okay.
That's so interesting. It kind of goes to what I was saying about like the different experiences based on like the area that you live in. But even that, me and you are the same age. We graduated the same year, and so for me, I'm just like, oh, like there are kids who are like, oh, remember? They hear adults say things like, in the 80s, I would leave my house and be back, and my parents would just say, be home for dinner, be back before dark, and then we'd escape. And kids today would be like, that sounds crazy. And I'm like, I did that in 2005.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't just the 80s. It wasn't like, it was like, it went from Stranger Things to the modern day where you just play Fortnite and you're not allowed to talk to strangers. Like, there were decades in between there where people were still sort of behaving as both. I'd go out biking around the neighborhood to the creek with my neighbors. Some of them might be 8 years old, some of them might be 16 years old. There's like this giant curve, of just the ages of the neighborhood kids who are all going together. There could be groups of like 20 of us.
Yeah.
And then they'll come home and play Wii because the year's 2007.
Sure. I think, I wonder if that's part, because, so, for them, like, the neighbors I played with were around my age. One was, like, a year older. One was the same age as me. And that was who it was consistently. And then, like, the one kid, his brother was older by, like, 3-4 years or so. And that was it. So, like, no one was more than, like, 3 or 4 years older than me. And it wasn't this, like, I don't know. I feel like the group was smaller and tighter in age.
Yeah, mine. I think mine was probably about an 8-year age gap between my oldest neighbor and then my little brother, who'd have been the youngest.
Yeah, wild. Come on, little 8-year-old, play football against this 16-year-old. He's
we did.
triple your size.
Well, we play like street. Like, not hockey, but like basically street hockey or Yu-Gi-Oh. Going back to that. Or just like ride bikes on our training wheels and our bikes. But no one had Heelys. The end.
No one had Heelys. Now, you know what the new Heelys are? Crocs.
What does that even mean?
And you'll
Everyone
have
has
to
Crocs.
find
I love
out
Crocs. Everyone can
next
I love my
time
Crocs.
on Slapendipity's Hobos of Happy Slappy Town. Email in with your comments, questions, and concerns. Goodbye, everybody.